power of the sour. The story so far. The sour is a bitter part of the time web on a decent computer that can be set where brains are taking the task. While your big friendship was an story in the time web. 여긴 넘어갈게요. 왜냐면 전 이야기니까. Chapter 1. Nadim and Wilma shut the door of the Korean realm. They sped back to time. The doorway opened where Nadim was joined to the ground. Wilma ran next to him. For a moment, it looked as if someone else was going to follow them, but the doorway vanished. Nadim and Wilma were in a narrow-knit array that went between tall buildings. They shivered in the frigid night air. They did not notice the shadowy flyers watching them from a dark doorway. Wilma felt a deep tear. Sure, she wrapped her arms around her body. "We better find out where we are," she said. The alley led to the Cumberland Street. A ship was a warm glow of light. As they walked toward it, the figures looked at each other and nodded. The light came from a book in shop. Full of leather-covered books. In frame on the door was a newspaper. It said, "The London Gazette, 30 October 1800라고 읽을게요. Steam. It is the power of the future. Steam! chuckled Nadim. Imagine we have steam-powered computers. Suddenly, a stone landed near my feet. It had been drawn from across the street. Out of the darkness, a woman stepped forward. "Over here," she hissed. "Be ready to run," whispered Nadim as they closed back toward the alley. "I saw you in the alley," the woman said. "I know why you are here." Wilma's mind raced. What had the woman seen? What did she know? But Wilma wasn't escaping of what the woman said next. More drugs will send me to help you," continued the woman. "There isn't much time to explain." Nodim's chest tight. He drew back to the timer. Had more luck meant others being sent? The woman stepped closer. The air seemed to freeze. "We can't stay here," she said, closing the road. "It is too dangerous." "What do you mean?" startled Wilma as they follow after her. "The brains are closed. If I see you, they may have seen you too." The woman pushed open the door of the book vendor shop. "In here, and quickly," she ordered. As they went in, the woman turned and looked back to the dark alley. She nodded before closing the door. The fire moved from the shadows. He had understood their signal. Their plan was beginning to take shape. Chapter 2. The first thing they noticed in the shop was the smell. The air was thick with the smell of little glue, varnish, and smoke. There were books everywhere. Toward the back of the shop stood a large desk covered in tools, needles, threads, rolls of cloth, mallet, kit knife, and a bottle of ink. A single lamp glowed dim in the gloom. Northern glanced nervously around, through a door at the back of the shop. He could see what looked like a homemade laboratory. Have a large fireplace with signers, coils or wires, and a copper sheet. What is this place, murmured Wilma? It's a safe place, warned the woman, for now. Safe? Asked Wilma. How do you know? Who are you? The woman smiled. Mortruck sent me to help me find the cell. It is powerful magic called a lodestone. It is very dangerous. It will read badly if it is poured near contained sins. See, I see. Like allergies less badly with water, not women. So, have you found the cell? Asked Wilma. I am close to finding it, said the woman, but so are the brains. She pushed the lamplight flickers in the cold air. She picked up a book. A boy called Mitchell worked here. I think he knows where the cell is hidden. I have been watching him. So where is he? Asked Wilma. I lost sight of him this evening, said the woman. We may too be late. The Bryans may already have him and the cell. Suddenly, above their heads, they could hear the thud of footsteps. Someone was coming down the stairs. Everyone followed the Bryans, hissed Wilma. Quiet, roared the woman. Be wary. Fighter인가 비중인가 모르겠지만 전 fighter이라고 읽을게요. A figure entered back room and began searching the laterally. Why can't I find it? The fighter muttered. Here it is. The cell, whispered Wilma. Know him? The fighter lit a candle. It was a boy about Wilma's age. He was holding a large jar. A woman called gently. The boy spun round in surprise and dropped the jar, which smushed on the stone floor. Chapter 3. I'm sorry, he staggered. I had closed the shop. He looked at the jar on the floor. You see, I like to do imprint in my spare time. Anyway, can I help you? There's not much time, said the woman. On Much Friday? Do you know the name Mortruck? Wilma added. Much glad. Yes, I would ask to look after something for him, but there is no time for this, snapped the woman. Where have you put the girl? The brains are closed, and who knows what danger they could do this power. I don't have it, Mitchell said hastily. My friend Tyler is hiding it for me, he added. I will take it to him. Suddenly, the candles flickered and then died. Standing in the doorway was the sheriff Fraser from the alleyway. He thrust out her hand. "Keep!" said the Brian. "Run!" shouted Mitchell. "This way!" Chapter 4. Keeper could remember going into the curious room and spinning back in time, but where was he now? He was riding on a bunch of blacks, but other than that, he wasn't sure. A boy in the wheelchair was looking down at him. "I'm tired," the boy said. "Who are you?" "Where am I?" murmured Keeper. "There are funny things," said Tyre. "One minute I'm walking away on my printing press. Then the next, you're lying on the pile of legs. How did you just appear like that?" "Mortruck sent me," said Keeper. Tyre's face went pale. "Mortruck?" he gasped. "I know about all the time-web stuff. My mate Friday told me. Clipper led into science. He can work stuff out. He said if anyone mentor Mortruck, I have to tell him. And be quick, sharp about it." Tyre wheeled himself across the room and pushed open a door. "I got my coat," he said. "Then we can go and fight right there." Friday. Beyond the door was another large room. In the center of the room was a metal printing machine. On the floor was barrels of ink. Hanging from the ceiling was a heavy frame for drying paper. "Do you live here?" asked Keeper. "Live here, work here," said Tyre. "I'm an Ukrainian. Lucky I could read it, so I got a job here. I make up the tray of words for each page we print. We even print in Preston, using sheet of copper. That's how I know Friday. I print a phrase, he bind bin이라고 읽을게요. Bind bin then together into books. Suddenly, there was a noise from the street. Tyre closed his door. Elijah Mitchell Wilma knows him. "William, Wilma!" shouted Keeper. Am I glad to see you?" panted Mitchell. "Brians, they hear us. We've just been chased by one." "No," said Wilma. "We're the woman. What if the Brian comes her?" Wilma started from the door. "We must go back," she cried, but to her relief the woman appeared. "I think we lost him," the woman gasped. "We must hurry." She looked at Mitchell. "We need the cell, and quickly. Is it here?" Mitchell looked at Tyre. Tyre nodded. Tyre looked over operator. He dipped his hand in and pulled up a heavy lump of metal, drinking it ink. "I hid like I told them, Mitchell," he said. "Nobody would think it was in here." The woman gave a wheezing laugh. "Clever," she said. At that moment, the door crashed open. "The Brians find us!" shouted Nodin. The Brians gave a massive snarl. "Gib!" he rasped. At the same time, both Wilma and the woman raised toward Tyre. The old man grabbed and said. The woman smiled. "It's mine," she whispered. Wilma looked at her purge. When what we saw were a gasp, the woman's eyes became cold and pale. Her frigid claw-like hand grabbed Wilma's shoulder, and she pushed her out of the way. "Brian!" screamed Tyre. "She's one of them!" "So are you Mother New Hope?" The woman laughed. It's almost too easy. She reached across to the painting class and picked up a page. They watched Hollywood as the word on the page disappeared under a black stain that spread from the fingers. We can destroy history as easily as I can destroy this world, she smirked. The man started to laugh. What fools you are! You will never save history. We destroy history, we spread darkness. Without a cell, you're finished. The woman turned, tired of his chance. He kicked over the bottle of ink. The woman slipped on the deck. Black powder that poured out of it. As she fell, the cell flew across the room. The cell landed in a box of copper printing sheet. Instantly, the whole box filled in a magic charge of power. The man's dagger's turret was sparking box. With about thinking, Nodem grabbed the rope tied to a hook. It was the rope that held the barrage drawing frame about them. It fell with a crash, knocking the man to the floor. What fools you are! shouted Nodem. For a second, as the sailor, all of silence escaped as the crackling of strange colors sparks at the starlight with the copper. But then, to their horror, the woman slowly got her feet. Is this the best you can do? She snapped. She walked over the greedily dyed bird hand into the freezing box. Instantly, a ribbon of energy leaped across her body. Her human digits melted away. She became a rainbow of sparks. For a moment, the room was a storm of rare power. The stillness. The cell rolled along the floor. Faraday picked it up. Interesting, he muttered, handing it to Nodem. The doorway appeared. Nodem, Wilma, and Keeper knew what it was. They stepped into suddenly. Keeper saw the brilliant man get up and move toward Tyre. Tyre! Keeper yelled, leaping out of the doorway. Look out! Keeper! yelled Wilma. Come back! Keeper looked back, but the doorway had gone. Nodem and Wilma had vanished. The end. Bye-bye.